big debate here on India Today TV. The tragic suicide of Rohith Vemula in the Hyderabad Central University campus has cast a shadow over allegations of caste discrimination on our campuses. Is this the reality? A dark reality that we must confront? Or is this an exaggeration? What is the reality? What are the real issues that bedevil our campuses today? This is the big campus debate. Caste and campus is what we are raising with the stakeholders. We have activists from across our student organizations, both on the stage and in the audience. Let me introduce them and let's give them a big hand. Saket Bahuguna, Delhi State Secretary of the ABVP. So he is from the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, which is of course linked to the BJP. Also with us is Roji John, National President NSUI, linked to the Congress Party. Sunand is the Central Secretariat member of the Students' Federation of India, the SFI, linked to the left parties. And Gurinder Azad is a Dalit activist. He and others have brought together a round table of Dalit and Adivasi students portal. Give him a big hand. As I said, we have tried to make this audience as representative across caste, community and political interests, and you will see that as the show goes on. But I want to start with you, Gurinder, first, because you have been documenting Dalit suicides and Dalit discrimination against Dalits in the campuses. Is it true? Is this an exaggeration? Are there many more Rohith Vemulas out there, or are we exaggerating what is happening on the campus?
Definitely not. It's not exaggeration at all. What I think is, what I believe is, what this system has made me to believe is that this is a sheer caste discrimination, nothing else. We have to see that, what is the background of Rohith and how he has been confronting this whole system, which is Brahminical in nature. So, an aware Dalit in any educational institute, okay, so he lives with a lot of realities, how many, lots of rapes are happening, lots of discrimination is happening around, the budget has not been allocated. So he lives with so many realities. And then a person like Rohith lives in Hyderabad Central University, and he sees the similar kind of atmosphere around. So
no, is it an isolated case? Is it an isolated case? You claim you have documented Dalit suicides. How many suicides have taken place?
It is when we documented, it was 18, but after that
18 where? Across India?
Across India.
18 in what 18. Time period?
After 2005 till 2012.
18 suicides took place in that period. But when you say there is discrimination, what is the discrimination that takes place? Give me an example. Give me a concrete example. Let's not talk in generalities. What is a concrete example of the kind of discrimination Dalit students are facing?
See, for example, let us take the example of Rohith and, this Balmukund Bharti names, Vanil Kumar Meena. The ambience there, ambience around is so much casteist. And in this Niket in IIT Mumbai, he was continuously taunted as over his Dalit identity. So he was, and teachers also do discrimination. In case of Balmukund Bharti, he says that he is continuously being failed, and there was no support system for them. Professor was saying that you have come with this category, okay, reserve category, but I will not let you go with the degree, and you please sit behind. So this kind of
you're saying the professor was deliberately doing it?
Yes, he was deliberately doing it.
You want to respond to that, Saket Bahuguna? Is what Gurinder is saying true, or is he exaggerating it?
See, I agree that there are instances of caste discrimination on campus and elsewhere, but the particular case of Rohith Vemula is quite different from it. It is not a case of caste discrimination at all. It is not a case of Dalit versus Dalit versus non-Dalit at all. Primarily because Rohith Vemula does not belong to the scheduled caste community. He belongs to the BC community.
But he had taken a caste certificate. He had a Dalit caste certificate.
And on top of that,
he had a Dalit caste certificate.
On top of that, he took admission in Hyderabad Central University on a general seat. So the case that is being built up that he was discriminated upon and all of that, I think that's a sheer lie. In fact, he has been working on under Ambedkar Students Union for a very long time, and all these Ambedkar Students Union activists have been involved in a lot of violent activities on campus. So everyone knows that they beat up Nandanam Sushil Kumar on campus.
Are you saying that the Ambedkar students group which is there is basically a group of violent students?
Exactly. It is.
Are you
Yes,
saying
come on.
therefore,
Yes.
are you saying that
Yes.
that there is absolutely no question of any caste discrimination between other groups and the Ambedkar study
See,
group?
see.
These groups have come up because of caste discrimination, yes or no?
No, there is one Dalit Students Union also in Hyderabad Central University. There is a backward students union as well in Hyderabad Central University. And on top of that, the ultra-left people have formed this Ambedkar Student Association, which does not uphold
But
the views
today
of
it's
Dr.
not just
Ambedkar.
Hyderabad, it's in Delhi. There are students are forming Dalit groups in Delhi as well. Are
There
you
are,
saying
there are
saying these groups which are being formed are not on the basis of caste discrimination?
Some of them are, but not all of them. Ambedkar Students Association in particular is a group of very violent ultra-left people. They uphold the ideals of Marx and Lenin and Stalin and Mao, but they do not uphold the ideals of Ambedkar. And that is reflected in their thoughts. That
Okay,
is reflected. If Dr. Ambedkar would have been alive today, would he say that Afzal Guru when hanged is wrong? Would he say that when Yaqub Memon is hanged, that's wrong? Dr. Ambedkar would never say that.
Ambedkar wanted to throw out the caste system. He wanted to annihilate caste. Ambedkar
Exactly.
had problems with Hinduism. Ambedkar wanted to get out of Hinduism. Let's be clear.
Yes.
Ambedkar also had serious differences with the way our upper caste system existed.
Exactly, that's true. But then to annihilate caste, would you want news items all over Dalit student kill, Brahmin student kill, Banya student kill? Will you annihilate caste by actually
How many
telling
people are
everyone?
there? Can
By
you give me the
telling
number?
everyone. Do you know that in the last 5 years, 21 students have committed suicide in AIMS and IIT alone? Did you look into the caste? Did you look into the caste of those 21 students?
You want to look this in the black and white frame.
No, the problem today is with the entire education system. It's not just with the Dalit upper caste students also committing suicide. People from all communities and all caste and religions are committing suicide.
Okay, hold on. You're saying therefore that don't see Rohith Vemula's case as a case of caste discrimination.
Exactly.
You are claiming that if he has committed suicide, it's a case of depression. It is not a case to do with caste identity.
Exactly, and there should be inquiry.
And you are
into it.
also questioning the very legitimacy of the Ambedkar students study group, saying they are a group of violent students.
Yes, Ambedkar Student Association.
Association, you are questioning it. Respond to that, Roji, from a Congress perspective, because your leader Rahul Gandhi was among the first to reach there. Let's be clear. No, let's be clear. Is this a question? Is this about politics? Is this about politics, or is this about empowering students and ensuring that there is no caste discrimination?
See, first of all, I myself was a student of Hyderabad Central University some time back. And I must say, I'm sorry that my friend Saket is giving very wrong information here. See, the Ambedkar Student Association is not formed by any left organization in the campus. This is an organization formed by Dalit students inside the campus,
Yes.
number one.
That's wrong.
Number
completely
two,
wrong.
Yes.
number two, you can, Saket, you may please go there. I was there in Hyderabad last week. I was there for a few days. You may please verify with the students over there, the members of the Ambedkar Students Association, who are there, number one. Number two, to support that, I will also say that the Ambedkar Student Association contested election, separate, and the left organizations contested election, and they fought against each other, and there was not even an alliance. The left parties didn't even have an alliance with the Ambedkar Student Association when the student union elections in Hyderabad University was happening. So that is a clear evidence to say that Ambedkar Student Association had nothing to do with any left organization in the country, number one. Number two, this is a clear case of caste discrimination. 5 students belonging to Dalit community are suspended from the university for whatever happened inside the campus. Because you know that all of us are student activists. When we walk in campus, when we do our whatever student activism inside the campus, there are instances of arguments, there are instances of scuffle happening between 2 groups of students inside the campus. But that happens within the 4 walls of the campus. But when something of that sort happens, the entire university administration, the entire government machinery come in place, and they force the administration to take action
No,
on
are
these
you
students.
saying that no, 1 minute, Roji. Are you saying that if another student resorted to violence on the campus, or a group resorted to violence on the campus, they should not be suspended? Are you saying students who resort to violence on the campus should not be suspended?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying students should not be suspended. Whatever the case of Sushil Kumar, what the ABVP is alleging, There is a clear police report on that. There is a clear police report saying that there was no violence. The Sushil Kumar was not attacked, and he was admitted in hospital. And this is a fact. Everything is the documents.
Are you
out
all
in
saying
public.
the ABVP has manufactured this entire
Of course.
incident of violence?
Of course, this is
No, no, one minute.
The
Now,
Ambedkar
let me
Student
complete.
Association itself came out with a parcha right after the incident on 5th of August. And it said that our people peacefully went into the room of Sushil Kumar and demanded an apology. Do you think 30 people entering the room of a college student in a hostel will ask for an apology peacefully?
Okay, one minute.
In a democratic country, will you want people to ask for apology by entering their room at 1 o'clock at night?
Do you believe that should lead to the suspension of the student?
Of course,
would
that should lead. No, I'm not saying about suspension.
No, no,
I'm
I
saying
want to
some-
ask you a
some
simple question.
disciplinary action.
I want to ask you a simple
sorry.
question. If the student concerned was not belonging to the Ambedkar Study Association, if he was belonging to the ABVP, if he was not belonging to a Dalit or a backward caste, would he have faced the kind of suspension and immediate attempts being made to expel them as Rohith and his friends were?
Of course, a
yes
lot
or
of
no?
student activists. Yes, yes. A lot of
No,
student
the-
activists
see
are
the-
expelled in JNU, in Delhi University, and elsewhere. Whenever students commit such crimes or such episodes, they are suspended.
See,
And
the
in fact,
difference-
in this
there is-
particular
there is-
case,
One minute, one minute, one minute.
in this particular
One by
case-
one, one by one,
in
one
this
by one.
particular case, in this particular
Few
case,
days back, what
There is a
no, no,
clear-
no,
One minute,
let
one
me
minute.
complete. Let me complete.
Yeah.
In this particular case, the punishment meted out to these 5 students, or 4 of them were Dalits, and Rohith
Yes.
Vemula's case is still under confusion. But all 5 of them were actually expelled from the university. Later, their punishment was watered down, and they were only expelled from the hostel.
See,
So
the
they
first
were,
of
they were
all-
able to
first of
continue
all-
their studies.
First of all, let me
They were able to continue their studies.
Let me
Just a
make
minute,
it
one by
clear.
one. Yes.
See, let me make it clear. The government has issued a caste certificate to Rohith Vemula, and there should not be any ambiguity on that matter anymore. Number one. Number two, in this particular case, see, the action was taken by the temporary vice chancellor of the university. Once the action was taken, students were suspended. Then the committee set up by the university found that there was no instance of attack on this ABVP person in campus. And then the students, these 5 students were taken back. Then there is a new vice chancellor coming in. This vice chancellor has a history. As I said, I was a student there. He was the chief warden of the university during 2002 to 2005. At that point of time, he had rusticated 10 Dalit students from campus on some small issue.
One minute. What is also true?
He rusticated 10 Dalit students. He rusticated 10 Dalit students from Hyderabad Central University for 3 years. And the same person is
So
appointed.
you are accusing the vice chancellor of being casteist. You are accusing him of deliberate caste discrimination.
There is deliberate
No, the
caste
reason I'm asking you this is because, and this is where I want to bring in the SFI, the fact, Sunant, is that in the last 10 years, there have been 9 instances of suicides on this campus in Hyderabad. There are instances of upper caste students, and most recently we have seen in Tamil Nadu, 3 girl students committed suicide because of the quality of the facilities that were being offered in Villapuram. I didn't see any anger at that time. I didn't see any outrage. I didn't see politicians rushing to the campuses. I want to ask this. Is Rohith Vemula's case the only case which deserves the kind of outrage and anger? Is it not true that there is a larger problem which should confront not just Dalits but other communities as well? Or is this only restricted to caste discrimination? Is there not a general problem where students for various reasons may be committing suicide on our campuses?
See, over the last 10, you mentioned the Tamil Nadu incident.
Yes.
And you also mentioned that there was no outrage.
Yes.
But I would like to say here that the 3 girls, Monisa, Saranya and Lakshmi, all 3 were SFI activists. They were continuously involved in the agitations of the lack of infrastructural facilities, continuous fee hikes in that private institute. And you rightly said that also the upper caste students or the non-Dalit students also face continuous discrimination, and the education sector, there are a lot of problems. That is true. But we should not equate these 2 things at this juncture. There have been, at the moment, I would like to say that the caste and capital, both are actually killing students across the country. On one hand, continuous fee hikes. You might be seeing Kota, the coaching hub of our country, or be the other private institutes. Continuously, students are committing suicide. But this particular institution...
But I don't see you all protesting over fee hikes. I don't see the same kind of protests which take place when there is quality of infrastructure. Why is it
You
that
might not-
Why is it that Rohith Vemula's case has attracted all the top politicians to go to Hyderabad? Why don't I see student bodies
might not have
protesting more on
witnessed-
the quality of infrastructure?
You might not have witnessed, but at the ground level, continuously our organization and other organizations also are involved in movement. But this particular issue, I would like to say that this is not only about the suicide of one Dalit student. It has brought to fore the rift in our educational institutions. I would actually, at this juncture, I would agree with what Saket had said. This is not an issue of Dalit versus non-Dalit. This is an issue of upper caste, conservative, exclusionary elements versus everyone else. This is what the issue is.
No, effectively that's what you're saying. You're saying it's not Dalit versus non-Dalit, but
what
it is
I'm
upper
saying,
caste.
what I'm saying, even among the non-Dalits, even among the non-Dalits,
Yes.
even among the non-Dalits,
Yes.
there are many who are on the streets who realize that what is the issue. So
What?
this,
No, no,
this-
let-
and
no,
one
no,
more
let me-
thing, one more thing.
Let me
Saket
get
said-
let
one
me
more
get it
thing.
clear. Let me put some facts here. The SK Thorat committee, former UGC chairman, a report on caste bias at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He says that 100% of SC/ST students the committee interviewed claimed that they faced caste-based ragging. 88% faced hostile isolation. 76% faced mess discrimination. 84% faced clinical exam bias. 68% faced teachers' bias in class. This is at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Are we going to disregard this report or not?
So what has been the Congress government doing in the last 65 years?
That is the
It
easiest
is just all of this has been happening in the campuses.
way,
But
Rajdeep,
what the
sir.
Congress has blindly done is just to talk about caste, just create issue and do nothing. Do you think only giving reservation to the Dalits and the backward classes will do justice to them? What about increasing facilities on campus? What about controlling fees? Why is there no bill on central legislation on education in parliament?
No, 1 minute,
Why is the fees of private universities not regulated by the
Okay,
government?
so do we agree then, Roji? Do we agree? Now, 1 minute. Do we agree that this is not BJP versus Congress or left versus Congress or Ambedkarites versus Congress? Because caste discrimination has predated Mr. Narendra Modi coming to power in 2014. This report is not of 2014. Let's be clear. Caste discrimination has existed on our campuses long before the BJP or Hindutva forces came to power at the center.
See, first of all, I completely agree that this is not a Congress BJP issue. And I really don't understand why Saket is bringing Congress party, what Congress party did at that point of time. This is an issue.
Why are you bringing BJP to the fore?
I didn't bring it. In the first place, this is an issue of students on campus. This is an issue of Dalit students in particular on campus, and we are debating that here. And this is a point, this is an issue where everyone should come together and we should think about mechanism, how we can improve the condition of Dalit students on campus, what facilities we can give them. And when he was talking about the government, he said we have to improve the infrastructure, we have to improve the facilities. But the government, unfortunately, is cutting down on higher education allocation. The last budget allocation, the last year, the budget allocation is slashed. So now how are you going to improve the conditions on campus? How are you going to improve the infrastructure, educational infrastructure on campus?
Now, I want to ask the question, and I want to ask this to the audience. When I read out these figures of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, how many of you believe that there is discrimination on the campus? Those who believe there is discrimination, please raise your hands. जिनको लगता है कि डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है कैंपस पे, प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स. आपको लगता है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन कैसे होता है? डिस्क्रिमिनेशन बताइए. व्हाट इज द डिस्क्रिमिनेशन?
भेदभाव होता है विश्वविद्यालय के अंदर लेके जो उनका होता है कई बार
कैसे होता है?
उसका होने का कि जो ये दलित स्टूडेंट्स के ये कई काम ही नहीं करते, उनके काम को लंबे अटका देते हैं और धीरे उनको प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करते हैं. जैसे हमारे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उनके यहाँ जो मार्क्स के अंदर हैं उनको मार्क्स कम दिए जाते हैं. ऐसे कई जो
दलित स्टूडेंट्स को मार्क्स कम किए दिए जाते हैं, आप कह रहे हैं?
ये भी ऐसे है और इसके अलावा और भी
वन मिनट, नहीं ये सीरियस बात है.
नहीं सीरियस है. ये आप दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के अंदर देख सकते हैं. आप जितने ज़्यादातर दलित जो हिंदी बैकग्राउंड से उसमें ज़्यादातर दलित है और उनके मार्क्स औरों से कम ज़्यादा, और बल्कि पढ़ने उनके दूसरे उसमें थ्योरी में अच्छे मार्क्स आते हैं, लेकिन वहाँ दूसरी जगह उनके मार्क्स कम दिए जाते हैं.
आप कह रहे हैं कम दिए जाते हैं, और कौन समझता है कि डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है? हु एल्स फील? आपको भी लगता है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है?
सर बिल्कुल है, क्योंकि टीचर्स को टीचर्स को पता होता है कि टीचर्स के पास सारा रिकॉर्ड होता है कि बच्चा किस बैकग्राउंड से आता है, और जब बच्चा क्लास में कोई सवाल पूछता है ना तो टीचर्स बल्कि ये कह के करते हैं, और उन्हें पता है कि अगर हम जवाब देंगे तो इसके हिसाब से जवाब देना पड़ेगा, और वो बल्कि ये बोलते हैं कि अरे तुम कहाँ से अपना बुद्धिस्ट लिटरेचर उठा लाते हो और क्लास को डिस्ट्रैक्ट करते हो उससे।
कौन है जो डिसएग्रीज विद दिस? यू डिसएग्री विद दिस? व्हाई? दे आर सेइंग दैट टीचर जो है वो देखता है स्टूडेंट दलित है या नहीं एंड डजंट गिव मार्क्स.
Sir, actually, I lived in Hansraj College hostel for more than 3 years. But I never find कि मेरे साथ वाला कोई बंदा ऐसी है या नहीं है. ऐसा तो मैंने कभी, मतलब मैं हंसराज कॉलेज में पढ़ा, उसके बाद मैं भी लॉ में हूँ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में. मेरे साथ के फ्रेंड्स हैं, मुझे उनका अभी तक भी ये पता नहीं चला कि उनकी कास्ट क्या है या फिर वो किस बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं. ये ऐसा बात करें कि टीचर्स को ऐसा पता चला.
Do you, how many? How? No. What?
The discrimination is not just between caste. It's also the students coming from the rural background and the urban background, the girls.
Discrimination against?
Absolute discrimination.
Is there discrimination against, therefore, students who come from rural backgrounds?
Absolutely. If you go to SUI, be it Delhi University or any other university, Delhi University has been fortunate with infrastructure and stuff like that. But if you go to smaller universities, maybe a Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar University, Marathwada, there are lesser hostels. And if you go there, they'll give privileges to the urban students rather than the rural students.
So there is an urban-rural bias, you're saying. You were disagreeing. You don't believe. Do you ask for the caste of whoever, of the people in your class, yes or no?
No, I have no idea. I've been studying with them for past 1 year. I have no idea who belongs to what caste or what background do they come from.
But the media tells you, right?
No, 1 minute.
When this incident comes up, the media tells you that a Dalit student has committed suicide. It's very unfortunate that you are labeling everyone.
This is the
You want
primary
to label
problem.
everyone.
See, this is the.
So tomorrow people will say, no,
Rajit
we
sir.
want to be judged.
One minute.
I want to be judged by.
1 minute. Here, this gentleman has a question. Yes. You come from an activist group, also Youth for Justice. Yes.
Yes. I have a question to Bahuguna. You said that ABBP Dalit associations are creating violence. Okay.
No, I said Ambedkar Student Association.
Ambedkar student associations are creating violence. What about Delhi University when ABBP beats up all the left students? And how many letter does your MHRD ministry sends to you or take action on you? There are many students you have been beating since last whatever years when your ABBP came into existence.
No, 1 minute. You are saying you are.
I have a point. You all are politicizing because your minister are intervening in the matter of university.
Okay. Just a minute. You made a very controversial point there just now. 1 minute. You made a very controversial point, Saket. You said the media is focusing on the fact that Rohith Vemula was a Dalit, and therefore the media is the one who's creating a caste divide. There are girls like this girl here who say they do not know the caste of the people in their classroom. However, the fact is that many student activists who are Dalits do believe, and I think Gurinder, you believe very strongly that there is a feeling that a Dalit is made conscious of his identity. How do you respond then to this girl who today says that I don't know the caste identity of the people who are in my class?
See, we can't see this in the black and white. Suddenly, if I don't know his caste, if he is a Dalit, it doesn't mean that, his whole things will be resolved. Whole discrimination.
No, how is the Dalit?
I am coming to the point. Now come to that case of Delhi University. In Delhi University, people hardly know that, 2 years back, there were two separate prospectus were there. One thick prospectus was there for the general category, where for the SC/ST it was a kind of a 15-16 pages bulletin, these people know. So when it happened, so you have to go to take the prospectus, and they ask you to produce the caste certificate. Okay, then you produce the caste certificate, they say that, attest it. Get it attestation. They go and get it attestation. Then you say that, it has to be from the Delhi University professor, something. Then
you
what
are
I am saying
that
is,
there are handicaps, there are barriers put in the way of Dalit students.
What I am saying is, this is a orchestrated system. Against the SC/ST. But the main thing is that,
I have a point to make here.
Yes.
See, whether there is caste discrimination existing on campus or not, you should ask this question to Dalit students. We should first of all, I mean, when you ask these questions to this audience here, we should ask ourselves how many Dalit students are here, sitting here, and how many of them feel that
how
there
many
is
Dalit
discrimination.
students here? Yes.
And
So all the Dalit students here believe that there is discrimination? All of you, yes, say yes. Yes.
So that
You are a Dalit student? आपको लगता है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है?
जी बिल्कुल है और हमारे साथ हुआ है, इसीलिए हमें मालूम।
आप मुझे बताइए कैसे हुआ?
सबसे पहले तो हम लोग खुद अपनी आइडेंटिटी इसलिए छुपाते हैं क्योंकि लाखों सालों से हमने सर पे मैला उठाया है। जब पढ़ लिखने के बाद कॉलेजेस जाते हैं तो खुद ही ये हमें खुद बताने में फील होता है कि हम लोग वहां से आए हैं। और अगर साथ में
पर कोई एक्टिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हुआ है या ये केवल मन में है इस तरह की बात?
नहीं, बिल्कुल एक्टिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन भी हमारे साथ बहुत सारे हुए हैं, क्योंकि हम लोगों को सबसे पीछे बिठाया जाता था, पूछ के बिठाया जाता था।
आपको पीछे बिठाया जाता था?
हमारा टीचर हमसे पूछ के बोलता था ऐसी है। यस यस, मेरा टीचर मुझसे पूछता था और मेरे को ये बोलता था, मैं सलमान स्कूल की बात कर रहा हूँ, वो मेरे से पूछता था ऐसी है, मेरे बेटे की नौकरी इसलिए नहीं लगी क्योंकि वो जनरल है।
One minute. There is clearly therefore, there is 1 minute. There is clearly therefore something in what Roji is saying, that a Dalit student certainly feels a sense of discrimination. Maybe people from the upper caste do not necessarily know
And
whether
that
the
is
student next to him or her
that
is
is
a Dalit.
precisely the problem. That is precisely the problem. That is precisely the problem that the education system in the country is facing today, that majority of the people do not even realize that there is discrimination happening on campus. And how are we going to address this? How many vice chancellors do we have who are from the Dalit community? How many people in the administrative positions we have from the Dalit community? And who are going to say that there is discrimination on campus, and who are going to address this issue?
I often
and
say,
this
how many editors are there who are
Seriously.
Dalits? How many journalists are there
Correct.
who are Dalits?
So then we cannot sit here in this room and say that there is no discrimination happening on campus. This is happening in campus, and Rohith was fighting against this. Exactly. Rohith and his group was fighting against this. You should see the Facebook posts of Rohith, what he had posted before he died. On 18th December, the day he was suspended, he wrote on his Facebook profile, he wrote in his Facebook saying that we the Ambedkarites roaming in campus, we the Dalit students are discriminated because we are fighting against the caste system, upper caste Brahminical system. We are fighting against that, and we are discriminated against. We are targeted for that. He says the Dalit students on campus should be given poison. That is what he wrote to the vice chancellor instead of doing this to us. Then he says he mentioned about the Yaqub Memon case and Afzal Guru case. See the Ambedkar Student Association, the poster on that particular day, it says they have a march against capital punishment. It is not about Yaqub Memon or Afzal Guru in particular. So there are many people in this country who strongly feel that capital punishment should be abolished. And the people who raise voice against it, you label them as anti-nationals. That is the problem that we are facing.
Let Saket respond.
If had this been like that, there would not be a namaz-e-janaza for Yaqub Memon. You would not communalize the issue like that. You would let me complete. You would not have a namaz-e-janaza for Yaqub Memon. You would not organize beef festival on campus. You would not have protest screenings of Muzaffarnagar Baki hai because you believe that you can.
One minute, Saket.
What is wrong?
One minute, Saket.
This is the problem.
Saket, 1 minute.
What is the problem?
One minute, Roji. If someone wants to organize a beef festival on the campus, are we saying they are denied from hosting a beef festival? That is their right. Are we saying they are denied?
No, but are they trying to create a communal divide? Are they trying to create a communal divide on campus?
They are not.
You just saw. No. If you analyze the atmosphere.
So you're saying it is a deliberate attempt. You're saying it's a deliberate attempt to create a communal and caste divide on the campus.
It's a deliberate attempt to polarize the campus, and the particular case of Rohith Vemula's suicide is also a deliberate attempt. The way it has got media publicity,
on this particular issue,
these people have done, have all these leaders, Rahul Gandhi and Arvind Kejriwal, have gone to Hyderabad. This is a complete politicization of the issue. These are the very people. Who have done nothing for Dalits in the last. How many vice chancellors did you appoint? How many Dalit vice chancellors did you appoint in the last 6 years?
Let me say. I'll come to that.
There is not even a single woman vice chancellor in India in the last 6 years.
Can I ask you?
Let me respond to that.
I want to settle this issue because in Osmania University also a beef festival was held. If I'm not mistaken, in Delhi University also there was this attempt being made
This
to have a
happened
beef
all over the country. This has happened in many places.
I want to I understand. Is this an attempt being made by also the backward and Dalits to create a caste divide, or is it to consolidate their caste identity? When you organize a beef festival, are you also not in some way provoking the some kind of a caste divide?
Okay. I will respond to that by again quoting what Rohith had written on this particular issue.
Yes.
He wrote saying that after the Dadri incident, he wrote that the people who kill human beings in India in the name of eating some food, some particular food, they are threat to the nation. They are the actual anti-nationals. They are threat to the humanity, and they should be sent to asylum. This is what Rohith wrote after the Dadri incident. So whatever the beef festival happened on campus was a protest.
Are the Ambedkarites in a way, Sanan, trying to create this divide? Are they also trying to take on the upper caste and thereby widening the divide?
See, these divides are already there, so it doesn't have to be created. On the other hand, what this idea that some programs can be organized, some can't be organized, on the other hand, universities are places where ideas are exchanged, where there is ideological struggle. There can't be a majoritarian, exclusionary, one straight jacket of idea that this is the idea on which all students should think.
So you're saying,
universities are not like that.
So you're saying Saket Bahuguna cannot decide who will eat what on the campus?
Not
Saket Bahuguna cannot decide.
Nobody can decide.
But, okay, so no one can decide. Campuses must be more open places is what you're suggesting. Our policemen are not even being provided with basic mine-proof vehicles.
That's right, Radeep, and if we are to just put things into perspective, improvised explosive devices of the type that we saw
about the show, it's pollution free, it's noise free, and it's opinion free. Well, actually it's not, because all we have is our opinion. On the show this